My professor announced I'd fail no matter what, so I made her star student my accomplice. I needed Mrs. Holloway's class to graduate because it was the only section offered. On the first day, we had to introduce ourselves and say where we were from. When it was my turn, I mentioned I was on a scholarship and worked 2 jobs to pay for my apartment. She looked at me, and her whole face changed. I didn't realize it then, but that was the moment she marked me. She had this student named Wesley, who sat in the front row, and he was clearly her favorite. I found out later he was actually her nephew. She treated him like he could do no wrong, and always brought up how refreshing it was to have students who came from good backgrounds. The rest of us who were on financial aid or came from working-class families didn't even exist to her. I told myself I would just keep my head down and do the work because I had good grades in every other class. I figured if I earned the grade, she couldn't fail me. I was so wrong. My first paper came back with a 58 even though I spent 2 weeks on it and followed every single rule. I went to her office and asked what I did wrong, but she didn't even look up from her desk. Your analysis was weak. Try harder next time. I asked for specifics, and she finally lifted her head and looked at me like I was bothering her. I don't have time to explain basic concepts to students who don't put in effort. I left her office shaking and thinking, what am I even supposed to do here? I worked twice as hard on my second paper and got a 54 with one sentence at the top that said I still wasn't getting it. Then she started calling on me in class just to humiliate me. She would ask about stuff we never even covered, wait for me to sit there in silence, then sigh so loud the whole room could hear. This is exactly what I mean. Some students just don't try. Every single head in the room turned toward me and my face went so hot I wanted to disappear. Then it got worse. She started telling other students not to study with me because I would bring their grades down. People I had been friendly with stopped talking to me completely. My grade dropped to a 41 and I had never failed anything in my life. Wesley came up to me in the library and his voice was really quiet. Hey, I know what she's doing to you. He sat down across from me and told me she did the same thing to 3 students last year and they all failed. I asked why he was telling me this and he couldn't even look at me. Because she's planning something worse for you. She told me she's going to report you for plagiarism on your final paper. She's already written the report. She just hasn't submitted it yet. I couldn't breathe. He told me she barely reads his work and just gives him A's because he's family. Then he told me she brags about ruining students after class and pulls up the gradebook to show him. He had seen my grades with his own eyes and they were marked failing before she even graded anything. Wesley knew 6 other students on financial aid that she was targeting, so we all met up. Wesley actually knew the material better than anyone, so if our answers matched his exactly, then she couldn't fail us without failing him too. He looked at all of us and said, she can't touch me, so she won't be able to touch any of you either. The final exam comes and Wesley sits in the front row while the 7 of us spread out around the room. She hands out the tests and looks right at me with this little smile. Good luck. My heart is pounding. The first question comes up and Wesley coughs once, so I circle A because that's the signal. He taps his pencil, so I circle C. By question 30, her head snaps toward Wesley and he coughs twice. Half the room circles B at the exact same time and her face goes white. She stands up so fast her chair scrapes the floor. What is going on here? Nobody answers. She walks straight to Wesley and stands over him. What are you doing? Wesley looks up at her and says, the right thing. Her eyes go wide because her own nephew just turned on her in front of everyone. She looks around the room at all of us with matching answers and her hands start shaking. If she accuses us of cheating, then she has to accuse her own family too. Her face twists and she opens her mouth but nothing comes out. She stands there frozen while we finish the exam in silence. Wesley smiled at me walking out. The plagiarism charge got dropped. She thought her own nephew would protect her. He didn't.